So, do you want to do the payback call out, or do you want me to do the payback call out? I'm easy.
I'll tell you what, I'll run down the card, and then if you want to kick off the highlights and shites, and then I can add any bits to that.
Okay, I like it. Go.
Okay, so the card then. So in the pre-show, we had the Riot Squad taking on the Iconics, with the Riot Squad picking up the win. We had Apollo versus Bobby Lashley for the US title, with Bobby Lashley picking up the win, becoming our new United States champion. We had Big E taking on Sheamus, with Big E picking up the win. We had Matt Riddle taking on Corbin, with Matt Riddle picking up the win. We had the women's tag team titles on the line. The Golden Role Models were taking on Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, with the brand new Shayna Nia Jax tag team overcoming the Golden Role Models and becoming our new champs. We had Keith Lee taking on Randy Orton, with, shockingly, Keith Lee picking up the win. What a great way to elevate him, courtesy of Mr.
What a
Orton.
great way. What a great way.
We had Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy taking on the Mysterios, with the Mysterios picking up the win. And then the main event of the evening was that triple threat match. We had Braun versus Bray versus Roman. Roman did turn up eventually, and he fucking won. So that lasted all of a fucking week. So yeah, new champ. Roman is back.
Mm-hmm. So highlights, Carl.
Yes.
Massive result for Keith Lee. Like, yeah, awesome. Like, this was the best way they could have got him across. Like, I've mentioned it before, and I'll mention it again. I was not big on Keith Lee after everything that happened with NXT. I know you weren't way before that, but the 3-week-long NXT title run, I thought weakened him before the main roster jump. I know you had some reservations with how he was booked, like basically as a face in general. But I just weren't expecting him to come out looking so strong. But he had a really good match with Randy. The feud was built up quite quickly, but very well. And it was a good, strong, clean win. He got the Spirit Bomb, got the pin. No fucking around, no shenanigans. He beat him. You know, you can't deny that. And to go out against such a legend, to win against such a legend, yeah, that does nothing but solidify you in the main roster. And I thought that was handled really fucking well. Fair play to Randy for taking the loss as well.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the big takeaway from this was not only did he beat Randy Orton in his first proper fucking match, but he beat him clean and he beat him impressively. You know, this is Randy Orton, who's in the main event title picture like the previous fucking week. Like, so this is absolutely huge. It seems like they're going to push Keith Lee to the fucking moon by the looks of it. So yeah, I was super impressed. I thought the match was awesome. I thought the finish was awesome. Loved it. Yeah.
And the other one I've got, and I'm going to try and be fair and add some more highlights in because I didn't really have a lot, but Big E had a really good singles match. I don't know why they actually talk about it like it's a thing. Look at him, he's a singles. Like, I don't know why it's such a shock that he can have a singles match, but he did really well against Sheamus. In all fairness, as much as it was like, oh, okay, that happened. It doesn't really do anything, but he did have a really good match, and it proves that he can be a singles competitor. Be interesting to see where they try and go with it, but fair enough. Shows you something.
Do you know what? Big E, big fucking E, right?
Big E.
Big E. For me, if he's going to break out and become a single star, like, he needs to break away a little bit from this New Day stuff. Like, he even does the oh, don't you dare be sour, clap for your tag champs. And it's like, you're just you on your own, Big E. Just fucking at least make it about you. Just be like, just have something, have some level of a singles identity. You can't be like, it worked for Kofi to a degree because those guys it was the brotherhood and they would go through anything just to see him get his shot and blah, blah, blah. And they were still around. They're not there for fucking Big E. So just, I'm not saying forget them altogether.
To be honest, I think this is
he's
a big fella. This is a good opportunity to have him have a bit of a change in theme music, not bother coming out to that exuberant New Day stuff, and actually maybe have something a bit more rocky, bit more intense. You know what I mean? Like coming out like a badass.
I mean, it's one of them. He's got that kind of gimmick and that character of like, being a fucking idiot, and he's going to dance and he's still going to talk about pancakes and stuff, which is fine. That that's his character. I'm sure he'll go back to being in the New Day at one point. So let's not kind of take him away completely. But at the same time, just forget the fact that you're a tag team champ at one point and just be like, talk about yourself and act as though you're out for yourself for a bit.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point, mate. Fair point. The other highlights, again, I'm almost loath to give, but Shayna Baszler.
Mm.
You know, if you're gonna do something to look like an absolute fucking badass, you know, spoilers, guys. She tapped out both of them at the same time. Fucking yeah, fair enough. That was ace. Doesn't do much for Nia, but okay. And I'm not big on them winning either, so there's a lot of negative to it. But Shayna did look strong as fuck, so I gotta give that in itself a highlight, I suppose.
Yeah, for me, I was a massive fan of that finish because it not only told the story of Shayna Baszler being a badass, but it told the story of Bailey and Sasha and the stuff they've been through. Because effectively, so if anyone hasn't seen it, what happened was Shayna managed to get like a leg lock on Sasha, but then also managed to get the choke on. I don't know what she actually calls it, but I'm going to go with a choke on Bailey. But then Sasha's trying to wriggle free and trying to stop it, and then Shayna actually uses Sasha's arm to choke out Bailey for the win. So Bailey ends up tapping, but it's actually Sasha's arm who's the one who's choking her. So it's kind of just really good way to kind of do that with them guys and the feud and the stuff that they've been going through.
But yeah, it was a really good. I can't say the match as a whole was great, but that was a really good way of ending it. It was interesting. It made for, like you say, I never really considered it like that, but it really helps the feud going forward with those two. But it really helps Shayna as well. I thought that it was executed quite well. That, in all fairness,
I didn't like the whole thing after the fact where they gave each other a hug and then were like, oh, and then like, you know.
yeah. I feel like they're trying to do echoes of Daniel Bryan and Kane, with like reluctant tag champs. It's like we've seen it before, guys. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens going forward. But that does move me into the O'Shites, and one of the biggest issues I have with the whole tag thing is the fact that we have a tag team that was established a week ago, going up against a tag team that was established a few weeks ago. And the tag team that was thrown together a week ago was the one that won. But on top of that, we opened the night with two long-standing established tag teams. Even if you did split the Riot Squad up for a little bit, they have to do the pre-show shite and aren't even in the tag scene. And Nia and Shayna are more legitimized and more high-profile tag team than either of those, either of the Iconics or the Riot Squad. I think the whole way that's put together is shit, and this proves my point that the women's tag division is just a mess. I know you have to build new tag teams, but like, what the fuck?
I'll agree fairly with that. I like there was no intention ever to have Shayna and Nia as a tag team, or have it be them two who dethrone, you know, Banks and Bailey as the champs. But effectively, you know, they've got nothing for either of them. So it was like, well, okay, I guess we'll just do some kind of thing here, because by all accounts, it was Shayna who was going to go after Asuka, wasn't she? Like, she's next or whatever, and I want you to win because I want to get the title off you. And then next thing, she's fucking tag champ. So. Okay.
So so that I think the women's tag division is not going to be helped by those two being a tag team. So I'll give the highlight for Shayna, but that whole them two being a tag team is not gonna be great. One of the old shows I wrote down was just a solidly boring pay-per-view. It wasn't the most. I think this is probably, as a whole, an issue with it is the fact that it was a week after SummerSlam, way too soon. They haven't got anything established. Two of these matches were rematches from Raw. Why? Because the ones on Raw went to no contest, so we had to rematch. So that was stupid.
Yeah, it's like a really lazy booking tactic, isn't it?
Oh yeah. So
no time,
again,
so let's have it be a rematch for something that didn't get a finish.
And that's where you need at least a couple of weeks, you know, for God's sake. I know pushing it any further would have put you in line with All Out, and that's probably what you didn't want to do. But still, so as a whole, I think it came out kind of a boring pay-per-view because they didn't really let anything set up very well. No, I'll save the last one for the last, like the main event issues for the last strike, Carl. So I noticed you've got a note in there about JBL, if you want to mention that one. I think that was you, because I don't remember.
Yeah, so it was just a minor thing, but for whatever reason, they had some fucking thing halfway through before the Keith Lee's match, and JBL comes over to him and is like, "Oh, you know, I've got some good stocks for you if you want. It's only $1 million to buy in." And then Keith was like, "Oh, I haven't really got that kind of money," and he was like, "Oh, well, you know, if you win tonight, you make a good impression, you'll be making that money soon, so here's my card, come and talk to me." And I was like, what the fuck is this? Why is JBL offering Keith Lee stocks?
Are they just trying to remind you that JBL's a successful businessman?
Literally, I have no idea what that attempted to achieve. Like, was it the fact that he's not a millionaire? We're meant to feel sorry for him. What? I've no idea. No idea.
Well, looks like your bank account isn't limitless.
Right.
And I think this was kind of a note from both of us, although I think you're the one who wrote it. Apollo, right? Is he turning heel? So I kind of touched on this, and I said I'll wait for payback. The reason I have a feeling that he might be going down a heel run is the way he won the arm wrestle was through shady tactics. He dropped in a little kick to distract Bobby and get the win on the arm wrestle on Raw, which is, funnily enough, mirrored very similarly what's I don't know if you recall it, Carl, but what Vince McMahon did to Zach Gowen in order to win an arm wrestle as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he was doing slightly shady non-face things then, and then obviously in this he loses his title and then proceeds to would you call it an attack or more of a hit and run? He was a shady cunt at the end of this as well, wasn't
he? Yeah, well, they were celebrating and they kind of had their backs turned, and then Apollo fucking runs and blindsides them, and then basically legs it out the ring.
Yeah, so more hit and run than attack. It's not like he stayed to do damage, but it just seems like, is he turning heel? And if he is, then it heel versus heel now.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
The
I
heel
felt very...
hates the other heels. I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't feel like no pun intended. It didn't feel like he was out for retribution or anything like that. It felt as though he was, or payback. Well, that would have been the one to use.
Or Night of oh no, that don't work.
Yeah. I don't know whether he was out for SummerSlam, but yeah, I don't know. It just felt a bit weird. Like it's not, it's out of his character to kind of do a sneak attack after he's just lost the belt or whatever.
Yeah, it's strange, but we've seen it before where they'll let a face do something that's kind of scumbaggy, and you're like, okay, I guess we're just overlooking that. So I don't know if it's necessarily he's turning heel. I think it's a shame he lost the title, in all honesty. I don't know how you feel about Bobby taking the win. I thought it was a shame. I wanted to see Apollo have a bit longer of a run and propel a bit more, but we don't always get what we want. We can't have nice things, Carl.
Yeah, this is why we can't have nice things. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. It depends where he does go from here, because it seems like if they are going to go heel, then where can he go as such? I feel like it's just all heels at the minute on Raw, so...
His new gimmick's going to be sneaking into the ring, shoving people and running like he's in a playground. That's going to be his new thing.
I like it.
Yeah. And the last one, Carl, which needs an extensive talk from both of us. The fuck was that main event? What the actual fuck was that? Right? I'm hyped. I'm happy. Roman's back. He looks like he's going to be a heel. He's got Paul Heyman. Everything's fucking wonderful. You know what we should do? You know what we should do to book this? We should do the exact same thing we did when Roman won the fucking Royal Rumble. That's what we should do. Not only does it not make any sense from a contractual point of view that you sign a contract midway through the match that you were signed for, pretty sure it doesn't work like that. The bell is rang, you've missed your fucking chance, right? And for those who didn't watch Payback, I know like what you're talking about. Roman turned up about what? I won't even say halfway through, later than halfway through.
Oh yeah, it was about
way
2 minutes
into
after the match.
Till he knew he was going to win, right? Which is fine as a heel tactic, but he didn't sign the fucking contract until then either. So he signs it and then joins a match that's almost over. How can anyone? Why doesn't everyone do that? If that is an option,
just turn up whenever the fuck you want, because apparently countouts and stuff don't matter either. So,
well, because I'm bitter about it and I harbour onto these things. This is the exact same shit that, like the Royal Rumble, as you might recall, he went backstage because he had a boo boo and didn't come back towards the fucking end of that either and won it. This is like a Roman option. It works better now he's a heel. But even so, it's like, can we not see him participate? Like, it almost negates the whole gimmick of the idea of him come back, wreck everyone and leave. Like, well, you didn't. You waited till the end and then won. That should be your shares. Wait till the end and win.
Come back, sign the contract late, steal a victory.
So, as much as I love Heyman's a fantastic talker, and I really hope they go somewhere well with this. And fuck it, he's the champ now. We have to live with it. I just thought, why did they make it look so stupid? Now everyone's going to piss and moan because he didn't win it properly. It's like, it's almost sometimes I wonder if they want us to hate Roman the way they book things, to be honest with you. I don't know what the aim of this is, but I'm not. I wasn't happy. I fucking bit, haven't I? A bit. They want me to not like Roman, and I don't like Roman. But now they're telling me I don't like Roman because they want me not to like Roman. It's even worse.
They're in your head. They're in your head.
But you see, now I'm going to like him just to prove that it's not because of them.
Love you, Roman. Some of the tidbits is I wasn't happy that he's kept his theme music, like the Shield one.
I'm hoping that like does change. Like they didn't get round to it because Payback was like, oh, we've only got a week. Fuck it, leave it as it is. I'm hoping that there is going to be some changes there. But yeah, still that shitty.
Well, exactly. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I feel like now would have been the time to change that up. So he's broken away from the whole Shield thing, and he's now like big, nasty Reigns.
Yeah, because it's kind of weird that he kept the same music because it's like he's never left the Shield. Like the other two did, he never did.
Yeah. So
interestingly, do you know he's had more opportunities than the other two members of the Shield as far as main titles go?
interesting.
He's held it 5 times if you count both. Neither
Unsurprising, really.
Rollins nor Ambrose did. I don't even tell you how many times Cesaro's held the title.
Yeah, don't do that to me.
And you might be like, why is he randomly mention Cesaro? Because all 4 of them started on the main roster in 2012. And in those 8 years, is it 8 years? 8 years, probably, maybe 9. Yeah, there's a stark difference in who was given opportunities and who wasn't, which shows you it's not what you know, or it's not how good you are, it's who you're mates with.
Jesus. Yeah, my God.
Sorry.
Didn't realise that.
Just wanted to be bitter about that for a sec too.
So I wasn't a fan of that, about the entrance music theme. Then also the ring implosion spot again. Like,
I nearly forgot to mention that. I fucking hate this, you know.
like the first time it happened, it was cool. Second time, it was like, oh yeah, that happened again. Like, I don't know what time this is. Like third or fourth. It's just like meh, and it's like fucking.
Here's the thing that really gets me goat with this, right? I'm all for suspending disbelief, and people will go like, "Go, just let it go," right? And I'd never moaned when it happened with the Big Show when he got slammed off the turnbuckle by John Cena. I can't remember, right? Remember that?
Brock?
That it might have been Brock when he sort of lifted him from the turnbuckle and the whole thing just went. But I'm sick of having to suspend my disbelief for this. You know, this ring can accommodate the 30-man Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And yet some 300 pound, 200 pound, or 300 pound, or whatever, you know, the combined weight that is not much more off the top of my head. I can't remember how much Bray weighs, so I apologize for that. But I know Braun's like 300 odd.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? But either way, their combined weight is nowhere near as much as the combined weight of Brock and Big Show, who was at the time 500 pounds by himself, bucket, build anyway. So why are we meant to believe that the ring keeps collapsing?
Exactly.
Other than
just
going,
fucking hell,
someone's getting sacked. Someone didn't set that up right.
Well, exactly. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like they tried to use it for shock value, and it just didn't land for me. It's like we've seen it too many times, and as you said,
that's the problem, isn't it? If you do things too much, the shock goes out of it.
Yeah. No, I thought. Yeah, I was just annoyed. I think by the way that they did do it, and it was good, I suppose, in one sense because Roman's definitely a heel now, and he's the champ again, and he's going to have Paul Heyman doing his talking for him and all that good stuff. But it's like Roman's won it back after a week. The way he won it back was like, oh, I'm just going to enter the match at the very end and just pin you. Like, yeah, don't know. It felt a bit overproduced, maybe.
Yeah. We'll see what happens going forward. It looks like they're going to push towards a Fiend versus Roman because, again, for those who haven't seen the match, the pin was taken by Braun. Bye, Braun. I think that's you buried now. So the Braun ate the pin again. So, you know, if you think about it, they've both pinned Braun. Now they need to pin each other. So, that sounded kinky that I wanted to. So I think we're still going to push towards Fiend v Roman. Which will be interesting because I don't know whether there's going to be some good psychological warfare from Bray. Bray in that sense. There's a lot he can draw upon in the past. Look how well he did with John Cena and the over entitlements and all that sort of stuff. Could be interesting as a work. And if anyone can elevate
an Alexa
Roman
on a pole match,
possibly. But if anyone can elevate Roman as a heel, it'll be Bray. And while you mentioned Alexa, Carl, for our audience, she decided to watch the match and twizzle her hair a bit. But yeah, they kept what did you make of that? Like, I know they want to keep her relevant to it, but they just kept showing you that she was watching the match.
Yeah, like maybe once would have been fine, but like, yeah.
It's like, we get it. She fancies the Fiend. He's got a nice smile. Yeah. So all in all, Carl, week pay-per-view. I dare say I'm going to give it a 2.5. You know.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. To be fair, 2.5 for me. I don't think it was as good as Dynamite, but I thought the Keith Lee stuff was awesome.
Oh yeah,
the finish to women's tag title was cool. And yeah, that's about it, really.
And don't forget JBL stock tips, also really good.
That too.
Thanks, JBL. So that was This Week in Wrestling and our unique segments of the week in covering Payback. So the extra long This Week in Wrestling. You guys are just winners all round. Next week we're going to talk about All Out.
Yeah, we're going to go all out talking about All Out.
Oh, it might not be. We might get a unique segment in here.
Is it the following week?
I think it's the following. I want to say it's on the 9th. No, that wouldn't add up, would it? So All Out when All Out happens. And yeah, so we might be able. Sorry, I will edit this out, so don't worry.
5th of September.
5th. I was wrong. So we're going to do All Out, and then we'll get back to our unique segments after that. So bear with us, guys. I don't want to say bear with us. It's fun to cover these things, and All Out especially, because there's a lot going on there, and I'm actually quite interested. People,
I am very excited for All Out, to be fair.
Yeah, damn right. But until next week, till we meet again, guys, it's been fun as always, and we'll see you all next week.
Have a good one.
Well, hello, Carl and Anthony. Hey, it's the hardcore legend Mick Foley saying hello. What a beautiful afternoon it is. Wow, gorgeous May afternoon. There's a view of the river at the Foley compound. Just want to say hello to you guys and let you know that I'm looking forward to listening to you on A to the K, the podcast. I am not yet exposed to much in the world of podcasting, but I think I'm going to start. I hear great things about you guys. I appreciate you being fans. I'm going to go out on a limb and just guess that you guys are big wrestling fans. So I'm going to thank you for your support over the years. Have a nice day.